Okay. Just
Okay.
this one.
Huh?
Giờ rau thì có tại nhá. Ủ rau. Nha cũng được. Ê, nhà ai biết đâu, người ta cũng sợ cái bố. Mình là người khi không em đi mà.
At the beginning. The very beginning.
Cái gì nữa ta?
Are these pickled? Pickled carrots? Yes.
Ông này gọi là gì chị? Cà rốt.
Beautiful. Oh, geez, thank you. I don't have to roll one.
Oh, it's okay. You didn't have to do it.
There, Shaun, you have to do all the work.
I have to do all the work by myself, all the heavy lifting.
Sweet soup.
Sweet soup. Okay, yeah. Okay, sweet soup. All right.
So it's tofu.
Tofu sweet soup.
All right.
Tofu sweet soup.
Tofu
sweet soup.
Okay. Very nice.
Yes.
It's full of ice.
Yes.
Ice and
Mix it up.
tofu and coconut.
Tofu and coconut.
And ice.
And ice.
So this is beef lamb. Yeah? So the lamb of the cow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Breathing apparatus.
I'm waiting.
Okay, hold on. I want some papaya. Yeah? And a little bit of leaf. There we go. Oh, almost. There we go. Okay.
Huh?
Đây là món phá hư là forgot you put it here. Put it in fire. Good salad. Yes. I thought you guys don't like it. I'm so surprised. You like it?
Very surprised. It's very good.
Đến đây vậy á. Mình dùng rau thành phổi nhưng mà đây
Yes. Way before that. Way before that. Right. All right. So tonight we've had the most enchanted evening. Earlier today we met a young lady at our hotel at the restaurant, and we started talking about tours and stuff like that, and she asked us what we thought we'd like to do, and we really didn't have any idea. So she proposed that her and a friend take us out on the back of their motor scooters to a couple of nice places. So very similar to the EXO tour that we did in Saigon, in Ho Chi Minh City. So at the end of the evening, we stopped at a wonderful little cafe, had a nice cup of tea, and we chatted for a really long time. And out of our discussion came the notion of creating this little tour business that her and her two friends could actually launch and get started. And so that's kind of where the conversation led.
Yeah, so during our conversation at the coffee shop, we learned a lot about the girls' lives and how they went to university for tourism and how they're working in different sectors, and it was just so interesting to get to know educated and work their way into more money to make themselves seem happier. They're in that.
It's a thing here. It's like, so it's sort of a pursuit of wealth thing. This is a very impoverished country, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it. There's lots of modern buildings. There's lots of new things here, but in general, people are relatively poor. For example, these girls make about 200,000 dong a day, which is somewhere on the order of what? About
$10-12 Canadian.
At the most, $12 a day, of which they spend at least 3/4 of it just feeding themselves. The rest of that money goes to providing rent, utilities, telephones, gas for their motorcycles, things like that.
Yeah.
And they still have to send a little bit home to support the family who aren't working, or at least haven't got as good a lifestyle as they have.
So during the course of our conversation, we realized the girls have the skill, the knowledge of their town, the knowledge of just being Vietnamese, and for them to help tourists understand what we want to know.
Exactly. Like when we come or visit a place, we want to understand what life is like for the people that actually live here or wherever we're visiting. And so it's very hard to do that because you're constantly inundated with this tourist place or that tourist attraction. Get on this cruise, go on that trip, you know, and all of it is designed so that you get to see the high points of wherever you are. For us, that's not necessarily what we want. We want to see those sites, but at the end of the day, what we really want is to understand how people live in this place, how they get along, what they do for fun, how they recreate after work, how they spend their days off. Those are the things that are interesting to us.
So in the course of talking with these girls, of course, we realized that they just needed a little bit bigger vision for what their life could be for them. So we started talking about them kind of doing more of a tourist.
So the idea here is that a lot of people are taught to work, but they're not taught to create opportunity or recognize opportunity for themselves. So what we got to experience tonight was we got to go to 3 different restaurants. We got to travel around the city. We got to see a part of the city that we've never seen before. And so in so doing, we wound up learning quite a lot. And to us, that was worth far more than a 4-hour dinner cruise to watch the sunset, or climb to the top of a mountain to see a great view. All fine things, great. But what we got to see was real life in Vietnam, and that is worth far more to us, and I think it is to a lot of people.
Yes.
And so, as I said, most people here are taught to work. They're not taught to think.
Yeah. The word entrepreneur doesn't really exist.
Not in the way that we think of it. So again, we were able, it was so much fun to be able to show them that there is an opportunity that just by doing what they did tonight, loading us on the back of their scooters, driving us all over town, taking pictures of us while we were at different places, that in itself is a business here. And believe it or not, it's a big business, and these girls will have the opportunity to make a heck of a life for themselves. It's not really about the money, it's about how they live their lives. And what they explain to us is that, in the jobs that they have, it's pretty much like somebody either has to die or quit before they get to move up to the next level and so forth. And that could take
Years.
decades, literally half of their lives before they ever get to the next level. So, our whole night tonight was about showing them a way to actually create their own destiny. And we talked a lot about destiny. We talked a lot about some of the teachings of Ho Chi Minh and, you know, one people, one community, one family. And all of those people as part of that family all have a different responsibility, a different thing that they have to do. So part of what we feel is a responsibility as tourists is to give something back. These people give of themselves. Tonight, these girls, you know, two of them had a night off. One of them has to go to work tomorrow morning starting at 6 a.m. So, you know, part of what we, as a responsibility on our side, is to give something back. And so hopefully what we've done is given them some sort of vision, some sort of idea about how to raise themselves up without waiting for someone to die or quit before they have a better life. And that was really the best thing.
We had the girls just hanging on our words because those kinds of teachings aren't taught here.
No.
We said, you know, like, don't stop chasing dollars. That's what they're here. That's what they're taught, is chase the dollar, chase the dollar. But if you kind of step back and have fun in your life, then the dollars will not mean quite as much, but you'll have lots of memories. And I hope that we got a real good connection with the girls tonight on you know, maybe creating a little prosperous business for them. And
Exactly.
that would be absolutely amazing.
One of the other messages that we conveyed to them was that work doesn't have to be work. And we use the example of our own business, the Daily Mail. We open the store every day, and you know, we work what's perceived to be work by a lot of people. But for us, we don't go to work. Our days are filled with fun and talking.
Excitement
And we learn every day from our customers. We understand something new about life because our customers share it with us. And so we sort of painted that picture for these girls. And you know, we said to them, like, life isn't about work and it isn't about chasing money. Work doesn't have to be work. Work can be a much broader thing, a lot more fun. And hopefully that message resonates with them. We'll check in with them once we're home. We exchanged lots of information and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that once we're home, you know, we'll be able to stay in touch and just find out how they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Maybe one day
so
come back
exciting.
and visit them.
Yeah, totally. I wish these girls all the best.
Absolutely, 100%. Couldn't say more. And I want to say that this whole night has been such an enriching experience for, I think, all of us. There was 5 of us, including Nadine and I, and I think all of us wound up growing a little bit and getting a little bit more enriched because of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll leave you with that. We're going to go to bed.